Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to Kaplan Gym for the Skyline Conference matchup between the St. Joseph's University Bears and the Mount St. Mary College Knights. Today's matchup carries major postseason implications. As it stands, St. Joe sits fifth with a 4-2 record, and Mount St. Mary trails closely behind with a 5-3 record. A win today would be huge for the Knights to recover from their last three-set loss to Manhattanville, who leads the conference undefeated. But they've shown their resilience all year long, including their historic 5-set win over Farmingdale, their first in over a decade. Meanwhile, the Bears entered today's match riding a high after an impressive 3-1 victory over Maritime. The Bears dropped the first set, but after a second set 32-30 battle, cruised to victory, winning the next sets 25-17, 25-11. Congrats to Juliette Simone this week for earning Skyline Player of the Week for her performance in Farmingdale, and freshman Nicolette Pirro for her 6 kills last match and an honorable mention because of her performance in the Farmingdale game. We see the libero subbing in. We are about to be underway, folks. The ball goes to Friedrichs with the Mount serving first. And the serve is up. A little bit of a shank. The libero 13 gets it. Over. Kenny digs it right to Friedrichs. Swing by Simone. And it's called out. The first point goes to the Bears here. Now we have Abigail Encina about to serve for the Bears. And the serve's up right to Simone. Set by Friedrichs, going to be a swing by Williams. Deflects it off the block, and that's a point for the Mount. I anticipate a nice tight match today as both teams have been playing exceptionally well in the Skyline. Simone now steps up to serve. And the serve's up. A little bit of an overpass, spiked down by Williams for the point for the Mount. That's great for capitalization there by the Mount on a nice defensive little mishap there. Let's see if the Bears can come back. And Simone with the serve. Shank. And good effort by the libero there. And now that is an ace by Simone. Let's see if the Mount can keep this run alive. And the serve's up. And it's a break pass, set, and a free ball for the Knights. That's passed up by Williams to Friedrichs. Swing by Pirro, finds some court there, and that's another point for the Mount. Simone steps up to the line again. And it's up. Pass is all the way into the bleachers there. And that's another point for the Mount. It's a tough start for KC here. Let's see if she can make an adjustment. Right back to her. Oh, she gets it up. Good effort by the setter. And it's a free ball for the Mount. Pass by Pirro, right to Friedrichs. Lavelle tries to put it away, up by the there. Back over. Simone, Friedrichs, Williams. Oh, good effort there by the Bears, but that's another point for the Mount. Simone steps back up to the line, going on a nice little run here. And it's over. Nice tough serve to DeVitrio, who hits it out of bounds. That's another great serve. And that's a timeout by the Bears. Nice start for Mount here with a 7-1 lead. This is really probably just to break up some momentum here for the Bears and look to help regroup defensively, get a nice serve receive up for them. But Simone has been giving some very tough serves, so it is definitely going to be a challenge for them. And the teams retake the court. And Simone gets the ball. Nice tough serve to the libero, who gets it up to the setter. And it is killed by Zwiefelhofer. The serve now goes to Taylor Knight. And it's up. Dug up by Pirro. Tipped by Friedrichs. Good attempt by Lavelle to save that, but just sails out. Knight will step up to the line again for another serve. Oh, a little bit of help with the tape there, and it drops for an ace. The Bears are starting to make a little bit of a run here, but it is still 7-4 Knights. And serve. Oh, up by Lima, and Friedrichs gets it over. Catches the Bears a little bit by surprise there, and Encina just misses it. Those balls are so tough. I mean, power is a lot in volleyball, but sometimes that change in tempo really just messes with you. You second guess, but let's see if the Bears can capitalize here. And the serve by Lima. Unfortunately, right into the net, giving the Bears another shift, another chance to make a little run. Serving is Jillian McGinty. And the approach. And it's up. Lima gets it up. Simone pushes it over. And the swing by Pino. That's also brought up by Taylor Knight. Swung on and finds some court there by KC. McGinty signs up to serve again. Going in a little bit of a run, but it's still 8-6 Knights. And it's up. Nice pass by Lima. Friedrichs swung on by Williams. Finds some court. And that is a point for the Mount. We now have some substitutions here. Vanessa Seymour subs into the game, and they switch liberos. Williams now steps up to the line to serve. And it's up. And sails out. Another defensive substitution here. Williams comes out, and in comes Sienna Pollock. And here's the serve by the Bears. Nice pass by Simone, set up by Seymour, and a little roll shot from Pirro. The libero gets the set over to the pin, and over. Nice dig up there by Simone, set, and swung on by Descala. Just misses out, and that is a point for the Bears. Zwiefelhofer steps back up to the line. And the serve is up. Pass by the libero, Descala. Free ball over by Lima. And swung on by the Bears. Misses by quite a little bit, but that was a pretty good setup. All right, now we have a substitution on for the Bears for serving. It is Rachel Meltson, apologize. And now we have Pirro stepping up to the line. She goes to serve. Finds a great spot there. The libero gets it over for a swing. Nice roll shot. Passed up. And Descala tries to put it away. Just dug up. And that just goes a little bit out. Pirro will step back up to the line here. Great serve. Oh, and just fools KC there. That's a great serve. Very hard defensive play there. Here comes the approach. Another great serve. Right in the back corner for a beautiful ace by Pirro. The Mount leads 14-8. I apologize, 13-8. Here's the serve. Another great spot by Piro. Two absolute great aces in a row. Just finding where they are. Looks like the Bears are going to call another timeout here. All right, and the Mount lets the Bears have it with a 14-8 lead and another timeout. And for any fans noticing, a lot of girls have pink ribbons on, pink shoes. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we just recently had our Dig Pink game here at Kaplan Gym. I always think it's a great time of the year to raise awareness, get some fundraising going. Speaking of fundraising, the Mount just started our Go Blue campaign. You could find us on any of our social media sites and donate to any team you want. The Mount St. Mary College volleyball team would be a great place to start. Help support these great teams and a great cause. All right, and the teams come back to the court. The Bears hoping to change some momentum here in their favor, and the Mount to continue to push after some excellent serving by Nicolette Piro. And she gets the ball. And the serve. And it looks like the Bears' bargain paid off. Piro serves it right into the net, but she did an excellent job. All right. And KC steps up to the line here. Also, Ava Robles has subbed into the game. Oh, tough serve. Just deflected off the arms of Sienna Pollock. KC steps back up to the line here. Score 14-10. And the serve. Nice little float. Good adjustment by Pollock. Seymour sets. Swung on by Simone. Dug up. Over by the libero. And a great block to continue it. Oh. And that is 4 hits, but that was a great effort by the Bears to get it back over. But a great offensive play there by the Mount. And there is now a substitution for the Mount with Aubriana Boyce subbing in to serve. And the serve. Excellent serve. That is another tough serve for KC there. She makes a good attempt. But that is another point for the Knights, who lead by 6 here. Ooh, looking for a ball. There we go. All right, and she prepares to serve again. That time finds the libero. Set up. Swung on a roll shot. Continued by Lavelle and Simone, and that is a point for the Knights. When you're out of system, sometimes it is so tough to get that ball over, and the Bears have been trying their best, but it has just been answered by the wall of Simone and Lavelle there. And the serve. Just out of bounds. And there will be a substitution for Descala. And the libero steps up. DeVitrio. And the serve. Great serve. Dug up by Lima. Seymour sets. Swung on by Simone. Deflected. Another great dig. Swung on. Pollock tries to get it up. Oh, Seymour jousts it. Free ball for the Knights. Lima. Seymour. Simone. Dug up again by DeVitrio. Set up. Swung on a big Robles. Great dig. Great effort by Simone there. That is a great swing by the Bears to keep themselves on the line. Nice pass by Robles. Seymour swung on by Lavelle. Just misses that back line. Let's see if the Mount can change the tide here. Really are itching for a point, but a great run by the Bears. DeVitrio steps up, swings. Another great pass by Robles. Seymour swung on by Simone. Great dig by KC. Libero tries to get it over. DeVitrio just misses it. That is a tough play. The Bears are trying to answer defensively, but it is tough. Friedrich subs back in. Williams subs back in. And she steps up to the line to serve. Score 18-13 here. The serve. Knight. I believe that was a two-touch there. All right, and it's served again. And it's up. Shanked by Knight. All the Bears try to converge, but they just miss. The Bears are struggling with serve receive this set, but they definitely show their effort trying to go into the bleachers. Let's see if they can make a stop here. Pass by KC. Demetrio swinging on by Knight. Just misses that. And that's another point for the Knights. Just misses that line. That was it. Would have been a tough serve by Friedrichs. And now we have Encina stepping up, back to serve. There's also another substitution. Zwiefelhofer subs on. Trying to get some front row support here. And the serve. Lima. Friedrichs. Simone. Great dig. Oh, continues by Lavelle. Demetrio. Encina. Zwiefelhofer. Robles. Friedrichs. Back to the outside of Simone, who continues the play. Oh. A little bit of some confusion there, I think, because looked like it was a continuation by the Bears back onto the Knight side, but it results in another point for the Bears. And a serve. Simone. Friedrichs. Right side swing by Simone. Deflected. Up by Demetrio. Zwiefelhofer. Encina. Robles. Back to Friedrichs. Swung on by Williams. Tough play. Oh, but it hits the court, and that is a point and a kill for the Knights. Pirro is going to sub on for Robles here, and Simone steps back to the line. Let's see if she could push three so the Knights can take this first set. The Bears prepare. And the serve. Right into the net. Let's see if the Knights can get some momentum back. Here we go. We have Knight serving. And serve. Lima. Pirro. Nice little back row roll shot by Simone. Knight. Encina. And that's a great swing by KC, but dug up by Simone. Pushes it over. Zwiefelhofer. Oh, effort by Lima. Oh my gosh, what a play by Friedrichs. Oh, and the libero Lima tries to push it back over, but it's just touched by a speaker on the top of the ceiling. You just wish it was just a foot up, right? All right, here we go. Knight goes back to serve. Right to Lima, dug up, great. Friedrichs, Pirro with the nice roll shot. Just hits the top of the tape. Great effort there. That is. Knight steps back up to the line. Trying to make this set a little bit more challenging for the Knights. And a serve. Simone. Friedrichs. Lavelle with a monster swing and secures the point for the Knights. Descala comes back onto the court with Lima going to serve. And serve. Knight. Encina. Zwiefelhofer with a great swing to get a point for the Bears. The Bears have really made a surge the second half of the set. A lot of great offensive and defensive play. And the serve by McGinty. Simone. Friedrichs, a little bit out of system, but Williams gets it over. Finds a Knight who just tries to get it up, but just a little bit too much on it. This is potential set point for the Knights here, with Williams stepping back up to the line and Seymour subbing back onto the court. And the serve. Knight, Insignia, KC. Simone digs it up. Seymour with a great setter dump there to secure the 25th and final point for the first set of the Knights. Going to the Knights, apologize. The Bears look to regroup, but it was a tight match towards the second half of the set. The Knights hope to continue their momentum going into the second set. There's been some truly great play. We'll be back shortly. All right, folks. We will be back just momentarily. Both teams taking advantage of the full 3 minutes. It's been a very tight and competitive game between the Bears and the Knights today. The serving by Brooklyn has been exceptional, with not missing any serves. The Mount doing pretty exceptional as well. Missing a few in the tape, but the Mount is aggressive with their serves. They are trying to find some ground. All right, as some of the players come to take the court, and the second set will be underway shortly. And again, I would like to say I apologize for any mispronunciations or any errors. I am simply trying my best. It is my first day, but it's been great, and we're watching some great high-level volleyball. Just a little bit of behind the scenes here. The referees here actually have to check the lineups to make sure that everyone is in their proper positions before the liberos can sub onto the court, as they are only allowed to play the back row. The Bears prepare as they will serve first, with Insignia starting for the Bears. The Knights look to push this to 2-0, but the Bears look to come back. And a serve to Lena. Just deflects out of bounds. Tough little serve there by Insignia. It's pretty rare you get a lot of lefties. We have two lefties here. Williams, Insignia, And the serve. Tries to go for the float, little short shot. KC and Senior. Zwiefelhofer, but blocked by Simone and Lavelle to get that point back and equalize it 1-1. Friedrichs will now come and serve for the Knights. The Liberos switch. Let's see what the Knights have to answer here. And the serve. Just misses out, but that was a good idea there to find the hidden back row player. Knight steps up to the line here. And a serve. Pirro. Lima. Williams. DeVitrio. Insignia. Wiefelhofer. Deflected by Lavelle. Up by Lima. Over by Friedrichs. Knight. Insignia. KC tries to put it away for the kill, but misses out slightly. I told you folks, this was going to be a tight match, back and forth here. Let's see if anyone can pull away. We now have Simone stepping up to the line. Tough server for the Knights. Let's see if the Bears can answer. Oh, just misses out, but that is a tough float serve. The libero will now serve for the Bears. DeVitrio. Fun fact, the libero can only serve for one person. And the serve. Hero, Friedrichs, Lavelle. Great kill there by Lavelle to get a point for the Knights. Descala now subs on, with Lima now serving. Oh, both liberos served right back to back. They can only serve for one position on the court, so it's divided by 1 through 6. And now here is Lima. Knight. Zwiefelhofer. KC. Deflected. Pirro. Friedrichs. Simone. Tough by Insignia. Knight. Free ball by KC. Simone. Friedrichs. Roll shot by Williams. Up by DeVitrio. Insignia. Zwiefelhofer. Oh, dug up by Friedrichs. Setters out. Libero. Nice swing by Williams. Insignia. DeVitrio. Zwiefelhofer. Oh, and it sails out. That was a great rally by both teams there. Lima now steps back up to the line, hoping to try and pull away from the Bears a little bit here and get themselves an edge. Here goes Lima. Serve. Knight. Senia. Zwiefelhofer. Swung, and what a kill. Wow, just straight down. That would have been a tough dig for Lima there. But now she steps up to the line. Zwiefelhofer. Serve. Simone. Great pass. Friedrichs sets it across. Williams tries to put it away, but that is a point for the Bears. It is point for point here today, folks, in this second set. Both are itching for this win here. All right, Zwiefelhofer serves right into the net. And now that ties it back up. Seymour goes to serve. Libero switch. The Mount likes to platoon the liberos, with Kenny coming onto the court. Williams comes to serve now. And it's up. Knight. Zwiefelhofer. Insignia. Williams. Seymour. Swung up by Pirro. Finds a nice gap and gets a kill for the Knights. Pirro really coming into her own, gaining a lot of confidence. Excellent for a freshman here. All right, and we have Williams. The serve. KC. Zwiefelhofer. Swung on by Insignia, but right into the net. Williams steps back up. Let's see if the Knights can keep their run here and keep some momentum. Serve. Tough. Oh, what an exceptional pass by Knight. DeVitrio sets it aside. KC swings. Pirro. Seymour. To Scala. Zwiefelhofer. She gets a free ball back up. Penny. Seymour. Pirro continues. Descala gets it back. A little joust at the net by some. Kenny tries to keep it alive, and she does. Piero goes to swing. Deflected. Zwiefelhofer swung on and finds some court. Knight. Oh, looks like there's a little bit of a. I apologize. A little bit of contrasting calls there by the line judges, but it was actually called out. And that is a point for the Knights. Served by Williams. KC. Zwiefelhofer goes to setter dump. Kenny. Seymour. Piero. Roll shot. Zwiefelhofer. Set by Demetrio. KC swings. So dug up by Simone. Seymour. Piero. And sails it just out. The Bears will now have KC serving. Pollock also subs on. A lot of defensive specialists on the Knights' side. Here we go. Serve. Simone. Seymour. Descala tries to put it and just shoves it towards Zwiefelhofer, who just can't seem to come up with it. That is a tough play. It's hard to react to those. Piero now steps back to the line. Serve. KC. Zwiefelhofer back sets to Insigne, who gets a great swing but dug up by Pollock. Seymour. Simone. Demetrio. Zwiefelhofer. Knight goes to swing and just sails out. A lot of great in-system passing here. A lot of great digs. A lot of great defensive play here. Here goes Piero again. Serve. That's an aggressive serve, but just touches the top of the tape. Robles is now subbing back on for some defensive support, and the libero switch. We now have Madeline Nino stepping back on the line. And the serve. Lima. Seymour. Descala. Zwiefelhofer. Insigne! Free ball! Oh! What an effort by Insigne there. Just misses the free ball. Liberos switch again. Lavelle comes back. Descala goes back to the line. As I mentioned, libero serves to that middle back position, but not both. So one of them does have to serve. Demetrio, Zwiefelhofer, Knight. Dug up by Robles! Nice little tip by Simone. Zwiefelhofer, back set to Insigne, deflected. Seymour, Pollock. Now with Simone. Demetrio, Zwiefelhofer finds the middle. KC finds some court with a back row attack to get the Bears a point. This Bears team is not going down without a fight. Insigne steps back to the line. Serve. Lima. Simone goes over on two. Dug up by KC. Insigne double setter dumps and finds the gap at the 10-foot line. Smart play by Insigne there. Catch the Knights a little bit off guard. As I said, tempo is everything. Power is tough, but tempo is tougher. Pollock. No one supports that, and it falls. Tough play. Pollock looks to get the point back, though. Insigne steps back up to the line. It's now 11-10. Robles, great pass. Seymour. Simone sails out. We now have a tie game, folks. Substitution, Friedrichs. Williams. I apologize. They called a touch on that last point. Friedrichs will now be serving. Just 12-10 Knights. And the serve. Demetrio. Zwiefelhofer. Oh, little miscommunication. And that point goes to the Knights. Can the Bears bounce back here? And the serve. Demetrio. Senia tips it back. Oh, and tries to keep it continuing, but no one is there. Those plays are so tough at the net because you can't touch the net, obviously. You just don't trust yourself sometimes. But great effort by Insenia. And the serve. Demetrio. Senia. Knight. Swung on, finds some court to get a point back for the Bears. Again, very resilient, not going down without making it a true fight here. Knight steps back to the line. And serve. Simone. Friedrichs finds Williams, who just timing is a little bit off with the set maybe. It happens. When you're in the air, sometimes you're already committed and it's hard to adjust in the air. It happens. Let's see if the Mount can get it back. Serve. Great pass by Simone. Friedrichs. Great swing. Insenia. Zwiefelhofer. Deflected. Continued by Simone. Great effort by Lima. Free ball by Robles. KC. Insenia. Swung on. Continued. Insenia. Swing by KC. Finds some court with a little help from the net. And folks, we are back to a 1-point game. Bears are just not going down. The Knights have to find an answer here. Serve. Lima. Friedrichs. Williams. Finds a spot. Knight with a rolling attempt. And that's a point for the Knights. Piero steps back onto the court. Liberos switch. Kenny now comes back as well. And Simone will now serve. 15-13 Knights. Serve. Knights. KC. Zwiefelhofer swings. Finds Kenny, dug up. Friedrichs. Piero. Just misses out. Great dig by Kenny. Fortunately doesn't result. But the Bears, again, keeping it within one. We have Demetrio going back. Serve. Finds the top of the tape. That's a tough one. You want to go for the aggressive serve, but sometimes you just find the top of the tape. You just hope it rolls over at that point. Your heart kind of stops a little bit. All right, now we have Lima. Lima. Great spot and an ace by Lima. 17-14 Knights. What a great serve. It's tough to find that line. Here we go. Serve. Knight. Insenia. KC. Lima. Friedrichs. Piero rolls it. Insenia. Vitrio. Back row attack by Knight. Roll. Simone. Friedrichs. Right to the Scala. Knight gets it back up. Insenia. Zwiefelhofer swings and gets it through the hands of Piero and Scala. The block has been tough for the Knights, and the Bears haven't seemed to really get it. But they are sure making an effort, and that they were successful. Zwiefelhofer steps back to the line. And a serve. Simone, slightly out of system, but up by Friedrich, swung on by Williams. Knight gets it up. Zwiefelhofer goes over on two. To Scala. Friedrichs. Piero. Zwiefelhofer gets a nice save. Free ball by KC. Simone. Friedrichs. Great swing by Williams to make it 18-15. Libero switch. Seymour now comes back to the court, and Williams steps back to the line. And the serve. Demetrio. Zwiefelhofer. KC. Good effort by the hands of Simone and Kenny, but it just deflects out to keep it a 2-point game. Pollock now subs on for some defensive support here. Strong back row with Simone, Lima, and Pollock, with KC now serving. And a serve. Lima. Seymour goes over on two and finds an open court with a great deke. She didn't even move her eyes, and she just knew where the players were. That is a very impressive play and some great court awareness there. Oh, and it is a timeout by the Bears. We are in for a great game so far, folks. 19-13 Knights, who look to take the second set against the Bears. The Knights just have to string together a few points, but they've really been very consistent with every aspect. Serve, receive, setting, their attack. They've really just, from every aspect of the game, the block even, everything has just been super consistently done well. The serves, aggressive, tight. The Bears have been answering with their own consistency defensively, but it seems they have their work cut out for them. But I have no doubt this will be a fight to the end. The buzzer sounds. Piero steps back to the line. And the serve. KC. Zwiefelhofer. Swing by Insignia. Great up by Pollock. Seymour. Descalo rolls it. Knight. Zwiefelhofer. And Nino just overpowers Kenny a little bit there. And that's a point for the Bears. McGitney also steps onto the court for the Bears. And Nino goes back to serve. Robles also entered the court for the Knights here. Serve. Up by Lima. Simone. Free ball by Robles. KC. Zwiefelhofer. Swing by Knight. And deflects that off the block again. Great job by Zwiefelhofer there. Nino steps up. Again, a lot of defensive specialists in that back row. Robles, Pollock, and Lima. Lima gets it up. Seymour gets it out for Simone, who hits it right into the block. Oh, and just past the outstretched Zwiefelhofer, who almost goes into the bleachers there. Great effort. Boyce now steps up to serve for the Knights. And serve. KC, Zwiefelhofer. McGitney. Seymour tries to continue, but McGitney gets it over. That's half the battle here in volleyball, folks. Just get it over and make the other team deal with it. It's tough. But there's been some great net play all day today by both sides. All right, and now we have Insignia stepping back up and a serve. Robles. Tough serve there, but she just shanks it out. We are now equalized. 20-20. Insignia. Lima. Seymour. Simone. Oh, and there was a ball that, oh man, got in the way. So they're playing a replay on the point. Oh, that was a great, that's tough for the Knights, I'm sure. Insignia. Pollock, great pass. Seymour. Simone swings and stuffed by the block. Oh man, that mishap ball hurts a little bit. Let's see if the Knights can equalize it again. Tight matchup. Bears again. And that is shanked by Robles. And it looks like Kellen is trying to call a timeout to regroup her team. The Bears seem to be finding it now here, folks. Tide seems to be shifting a little bit. I'm sure the Knights are eager to get these points back and keep it tight. As mentioned before, they recently beat Farmingdale in a 5-set epic with lots of back and forth, tight, competitive play. There were points where you didn't know who was going to pull away. Similar to here, 2 points is very close, and Brooklyn's been in this spot before. With their recent game against Maritime, they won their second set 32-30. For fans who may not know, each set is a 25 win by 2. To get to 32, that means there's a lot of back and forth. They're used to this pressure. They're used to being in this corner. Let's see if the Knights can respond here. But the Knights, like I said, have been in this spot. They've been in the 5 sets back and forth. Both teams are primed and ready for this. Leading us for some great volleyball. And a serve. Lima. Seymour. Simone rolls it over to Casey, who deflects it out. That's yet half the battle's getting it over. And that was a great, well-placed shot with the awareness by Simone. Seymour now steps to serve. Pollock subs out. Lavelle, Williams, and Simone make up the front row, with Robles and Kenny also following up the back. And to the top of the tape from Seymour, who will now sub with Friedrichs. Libero's switch, and Knight steps back up to the line. Knights need this one here, folks. They gotta keep it within 1, because that 24 is a scary number. Here we go. Oh, what an ace by Knight, who just floats it over and finds a gap. Kellum looks to take another timeout here. Trying to ice Knight. Tale of 2 huddles here. Very intense here on the left with the Knights. With some strategy. And it looks like the Bears are playing free, which is really what sports are all about, having fun. The Knights are locked in, however, and look like they are ready to get this point back and make this set a challenge for the Bears. The line judges go back to their spots. And Knight gets prepared to serve. Set point for the Bears here. Let's see if the Knights can respond. The serve. Kenny overpasses it, and it is spiked down by Zwiefelhofer to get that final point. We are now tied 1-1, folks, with the Bears taking that second set 25-21. For the Mount's sake, let's hope we don't have the same repeat of the Maritime game for the Bears, as they were able to pull away after their first set loss and their 32-30 victory in the second set, where they pulled away. But as I've mentioned, the Knights have been here. They know what it's like being backed into that corner. And they'll regroup, reset, and we're in for a great third set. You may be wondering, who, behind the scenes, who's doing the scoring, the scoreboard, all the other cool things? It's actually the Mount St. Mary College softball team, which I'm also a part of, and also libero Kenny is a part of. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. You have the scoreboard, who obviously keeps score, but there's also the libero tracker, who has to track to make sure everyone stays in their rotation, etc. It's a tough job and can get pretty confusing. But it's ultimately very fun. I love coming to these volleyball games. Volleyball is a great sport. It is so intense, so fun, and you realize when you're at this court level how intense and how these girls are pushing so hard. Both teams here are very, very determined. The level of play is so high and so fun to watch. We will be back shortly with the third set between the Bears and the Knights. It is tied 1-1. Again, the players are preparing to take the court soon. Make sure you keep an eye out for the Mount St. Mary College Instagram and social medias for the upcoming night matchups. The women's and men's cross-country team have the Skyline Championship tomorrow at Purchase College. The women finishing third last year look to repeat, and the men look to well finish, folks. They've had some struggles, but they're hoping to make a statement in the Skyline Conference Championship. And the Knights here looking for their postseason berth with a great season so far, and this win would be huge for the Knights and the Bears alike. We also have some great soccer matches coming up today on St. Joe's, I believe St. Joe's, Long Island. And the second one is not coming to me, but I will find that out for everyone. You could also tag along to those streams on those subsequent websites. And we have Friedrichs, the serve. Knight. Zwiefelhofer sets it up. Knight goes to swing, finds some open court after the outstretched Kenny. And the Bears take the first point, continuing their momentum from the last set. Insini has been tough on the serve. And serve. Simone, great pass. Friedrichs, swung by Williams, who gets it through and finds a side out there. Simone now steps back to the line looking for the ball. There we go, the ball runner gets it. And here comes Simone. The serve. Demetrio. Insignia. Knight swings. Dug up by Simone. Friedrichs. Piero, who gets it off the block and finds some open court to get the Knights a 2-1 lead, with Simone staying at the line. There we go. Simone goes to serve. Knight. Insignia goes across to Zwiefelhofer. Gets it over, stuck up by Simone. Friedrichs. Piero swings, gets it caught across. Knight. Insignia back sets to Zwiefelhofer, who rolls it. Dug up by Kenny. Friedrichs. Piero, who gets it through the block and puts it away. What a great, well-rounded point. Defense, offense, setting, everything. Great, great rally between both teams. We're fighting tooth and nail for each point. And we now have Simone. Knight. Oh, and just falls in between for the Knights to go on a little bit of a run here. Simone staying at the line. The serve. Demetrio. Insignia. Zwiefelhofer gets it. Tries to get dug up by Simone, but she manages to put it away to cut that deficit to 4-2. The Bears now step up to serve, with Knight serving. The serve. Piero. Friedrichs. Williams rolls it over, but right to the libero, Demetrio, who goes... Oh, another miss. Okay, the line judges had two things, but they called it out. So that is a point for the Knights. Try to go over on two there. Okay, and we have Lima. Knight. Insignia. Zwiefelhofer uses that block and gets a point for the Bears. Demetrio goes to serve. Nino steps on. Demetrio. Lima. Friedrichs a little bit out of system, but they manage to get a swing. Uses that block by Piero. Uses that block to get the Knights another point. Seymour subs on. Libero switch. We now have Williams stepping back to serve. We have Knight, Casey, and Demetrio in the back row here. Right to Knight, who shanks it into the bleachers. Again, serve receive, I believe, is one of the toughest aspects of the game. I may be a little biased, though. I am a former libero, and that is pretty much the brunt of your responsibility. It's tough. Williams goes back for the serve. KC, Devitrio, free ball by Zwiefelhofer. Williams, Seymour, back row attack by Simone, who rolls it and finds some open court at the 10-foot line. What an excellent awareness by Simone. And we now have a timeout. The Knights seem to be pulling away. Let's see if they can keep it rolling. A lot of intensity in the huddles this time. We see a lot of intent faces looking at both of their coaches. The Knights took the court, and now we have the Bears stepping back on. Line judges go back to their spots here. The whistle blows, and we are getting ready to serve. I believe the buzzer will ring, though. There we go. Okie doke. And here we go for Williams. She steps up to serve. Tape helps her out. Knight, Insignia, Zwiefelhofer, who hits it out. Williams now steps back to the line to continue the Knight streak. It is now 9-3 Knights. Here we go. Serve. Knight, great pass. Insignia goes over on two. Catches the Knight a little bit by surprise, but they go over on two from Williams to Descala. But that is a two-touch by Descala. A little NCAA fact. They previously changed the rule from a two-touch, which is when you make contact with the ball twice. And you can do it now when it's on your side of the court, but when it's the third hit, you have to get it clean, which Descala did not. Zwiefelhofer hits it right into the net. Knights look to gain that momentum back. It's an interesting rule because it probably helps with the gameplay, being faster and more consistent. Here we go, Pirro. Great serve. Couldn't get up by KC, but that was an excellent serve by Pirro. That float is hard to defend. They hide Zwiefelhofer here. Let's see if she gets that second ball or goes up to the front. And that is another ace by Pirro, who really has some great composure. Here we go. Serve. Another great aggressive serve. Shanked by KC. Truly an excellent serve. Deep in the court, floating away. Great job by Pirro. Let's see if the Bears can answer back. The serve. Another excellent serve, dug up. Nino. Insignia swings and gets it down for the Bears. Robles goes to sub on for Pirro, who just had a great serving run. Libero switch. Lima, Pollock, and Robles make up that back row for KC serve. Lima, Seymour, Simone, with a powerful kill to make the score 14-5 Knights. Simone just overpowered. Mackenzie Warmoth steps onto the court, and Boyce steps up to serve. KC, Zwiefelhofer, Insignia finds the I apologize. Misses out slightly. And that is a point for the Knights. Boys steps back up to the line. 15-5. Knights seem to be pulling away here, folks. Oh. Looks like the judge is speaking to Coach Kaplan. Oh, looks like everything's A-okay. And the serve by boys. Into the net. That was a little bit of a commentator's jinx. I apologize. Let's hope the Knights can recover from my mishap there. We have Nino going to serve. Robles, Pollock, and Lima make up the back row. Simone, Warmouth, and Seymour make up the front. Great pass by Robles. Seymour. Simone uses that block, but up by Knight. KC back to Knight. Swings. Lima tries to get it up. Robles and Simone try to converge, but they can't seem to come up with it. Bears find a gap there, and now the score is 15-7. Let's see if the Knights can stop this little run. Nino goes up to serve. The serve. Pollock, good pass. Seymour gets there. Simone swings. Finds Nino. KC attempts, but the point goes to the Knights, making it 16-7. Friedrichs now goes to sub on, and Williams as well. Friedrichs will now serve. Again, the score is 16-7. We're tied 1-1 here in Kaplan Gym. Here's a serve. Knight. Zwiefelhofer. Knight again. With a little roll dug up by Robles. Great. Williams. Zwiefelhofer setters out. DiVitrio. Insignia gets it over. And through the hands of Friedrichs. Tough play. Getting it across is sometimes the easiest play, especially as a lefty on that right side. It's a much easier swing for them because it's coming across on their dominant hand, so you can get a lot more power. Insignia now serves. Robles powers it out in an attempt to get it, and that is a point for the Bears, making it 16-9. Insignia now steps up again. Knights looking to come bounce back. Robles gets a little crossed up there, and that is an ace for Insignia. Score is now 16-10. Here we go. And serve. Another, aggressive serve, but into the top of the tape. Kenny now comes back. Robles is going to sub out for Piro, and Simone will step back up to the line. Hopefully put a few of these points away, and the Knights can take this third set. But the Bears might have an answer. And serve. DiVitrio. DiVitrio, I apologize. Insignia, Knight, but blocked by Piro and Warmouth. Excellent play there by the Knights. And here goes Simone again. Serve. Knight. Insignia gets it to the outside. Zwiefelhofer free balls it instead. Piro. Friedrichs goes over on two. Zwiefelhofer. Vitrio. Knight. Rolls it with a little push, and it is called out, and that is a point for the Knights. It is 19-10 as the Bears call a timeout. The Knights are really executing every aspect well here. The Bears making a few little mistakes. It looks like the Bears have a significantly smaller roster, and they have made a lot less substitutions compared to the Knights. I really think the Knights do an excellent job with involving a lot of defensive players and defensive specialists, and there's a lot of great team chemistry here. It really seems like whoever goes onto the court gets the plan and are able to communicate, execute every aspect of the game really well. The reason I mention that is the Bears simply might just be fatigued. It looks like Zwiefelhofer is playing front row, setting, Insignia as well. It takes a toll. Volleyball is a constant back and forth sport that requires a lot of effort every play. That's why a lot of the quick points that you see are sometimes a relief for the players because they get to, recover, recoup, and let the serve come in. But the Knights don't look to make it easy for the Bears because Simone prepares to serve. Here we go. Serve. Demetrio. Senior. Sets it to Knight, who swings and finds some court. Hats off to the Bears. A lot of all-around players, back row, front row. Really some great athletes. Knight now steps to the line. Serve. Lima, great pass. Friedrichs. Williams swings, finds some court, and it is 20-11 Knights. Descala comes back for Warmouth, and now the libero Lima will serve. 20-11. Serve. Knight. Insignia. Zwiefelhofer gets it through the block and finds some court to make it 20-12. Demetrio now steps up to serve. Nino steps onto the court. And serve. Simone. Friedrichs. Williams. What a brilliant kill. Simply lovely there by Williams. Finds a side out. Seymour will come back onto the court, and Williams will step up to serve. Kenny also is on the court. Williams. Great serve. KC digs it up. Insignia. Zwiefelhofer gets it over. Simone, great pass. Seymour. Pirro sails it out. Tough swing there. Zwiefelhofer now steps back to the line. Some substitutions. Pollock comes to help with some defensive support here. And the back row is composed of Simone, Lima, and Pollock. Serve by Zwiefelhofer. Serve. Dug up by Simone. Seymour. Swing pushed by Pirro, and that is a point for the Knights. The Knights are fired up. Robles coming out, giving a big clap. Great energy here by both teams. And now we have Pirro, who comes back to give some tough serves. Here we go. Serve. Great serve. Overpowered. The libero, Simone, Seymour. Descala tries to put it away. Oh, but it's a free ball back over by the Bears. Pollock, Seymour, tipped over, continued. Simone. Back row attack by Pirro into the top of the net. Getting it up and over is majority of the battle. And it looks like the Bears are not going down. 22-14, folks. We now have KC stepping up to the line. Serve. Pollock gets a little crossed up, couldn't decide whether to use their platform or their hands. Another really, really tough thing in serve receive, especially with that float. She remains composed. This whole team really has some great demeanor. The serve goes back to her, gets it up and recovers. Simone swings. KC, Zwiefelhofer, Knight finds Robles, who tries to get it up. Great effort. But great job by Pollock to get that serve receive right to target. Super resilient team here, the Knights. Everybody involved. But can it match the Bears, who's making it close? KC, Lima, great pass. Seymour, Descala hits it just out. And now we have KC stepping to the line. KC, serve. Pollock, great pass to Seymour. Pushes it out to Simone, who uses that block and finds some court. Great job by defense and offense. Boyce is now subbing back on. Warmouth is going to the front row. Serve. KC. Zwiefelhofer goes over on 2. Simone Seymour back out to Simone. Roll shots it. Gets the setter out. DeVitrio. Knight goes to swing. Robles gets it over, but it's just out. Nino now steps up for the Bears. The score is 23-18. Well, it may not show it. The Bears are creeping in there. Pollock goes over on 1 with an overpass. Nino gets it back up. Zwiefelhofer. Insignia tips it. Pollock gets it back. Seymour keeps it in. Pushed over by Simone. Nino. Zwiefelhofer. Knight. Just out. Big point there for the Knights. Looking to close out this set to make it 2-1. Seymour now steps to the line. Williams subs on. Pollock did her job. Great job on defense there. Now we have Seymour. KC. Zwiefelhofer keeps it in. Knight goes to swing. Continued by the block, and that is a point for the Knights to make it 25-18 and to make them up 2-1. Bears looked like they lost a little bit of momentum as the gap was pretty wide at the beginning of that set. They slowly crept back in. But let's see if they can come back and make this a 2-2 game, or if the Knights will take it 3-1. With a minute to go to the upcoming 4th set, the Knights lead 2-1. The Bears look to equalize it 2-2 and force this to a 5th set. For folks who may not know, the 5th set is actually not till 25 points, it's to only 15. And they switch at 8 points apiece, they switch sides. After a hard-fought match, a 5th set going to 15, I'm sure is a really tight competitive thing, like especially in the mind of the athlete. You know, you play a whole battle for 4 sets, back and forth, and it's decided by 15 points. Let's see if the Knights can put it away, though, in this set to 25. There goes the buzzer. The liberos still need to be approved by the referees here. As I mentioned, they have to check the rotations because they have to just make sure that, you know, you're not out of rotation and you're subbing for somebody in the back row. So the libero tracker can keep track of that as well. You may be wondering, how do the person on the stand and the person doing the subs communicate? A lot of modern technology is actually involved now. It appears these referees aren't doing it today, but they actually have earpieces that they can communicate with each other during the game. which is pretty cool. Yeah, just little fun facts. The line judges are left to their own devices as they only have their respective sides. And Senia now steps up to serve for the Bears. Lima digs it up. Seymour swung on by Simone, finds some open court, and that is a great start for the Knights. Kenny and Lima switch. Fredericks will now step onto the court. Here we go. Serve. Demetrio. Apologize there. All right, there we go. KC to Sweefelhofer, who gets a little bit stuffed. I apologize for that lapse in speaking there. Seems I pressed the wrong button for a second. Alrighty. Meltson has come onto the court for the Bears, and she appears to be serving and subbing for Encenia, who may be a little bit fatigued. Fredericks now serves. KC. Meltson. Sweefelhofer. Splits Kenny and Robles, and that is a point for the Bears, their first of the set. Knight now steps back up. And serve. Lima. Fredericks. Simone. Off the hand of Meltson. I apologize, folks. That is not correct. All right. Well, now we have Simone stepping up to serve. Serve. Knight. Meltson. Gets it over, but pushed back down by Williams, who gets the point for the Knights, making it 4-1. Let's see if the Bears can answer back. The serve. KC. Meltson. Knight from a back row attack finds Simone, who gets it up to Fredericks. Pirro hits it right into the block, who gets it down. That was Sweefelhofer and Wallen. Wallen will now come off the court for Philemon. Served by Demetrio. Lima. Up by Fredericks. Williams. Knight. Melton. Over by Philemon. Pirro. Fredericks. Williams, who gets it through the hands of the block to get another point for the Knights, making it 5-2. Scala comes to the front row, and Lima goes back to serve. And serve. Demetrio. Melton. Sweefelhofer gets it through the hands of the block and deflects it out for make it a 5-3 game. And Senia looks to be coming back on for Melton here. And Sweefelhofer now steps up to the line. Let's see if Encenia is a little bit more rested. Serve. Simone. Fredericks. Williams. Finds a great spot on the court just past the outstretched Knight. Seymour now subs back on. Williams will now go to serve. Volleyball is an exhausting game. It's a lot of lateral movements, back to back to back. Here we go, Williams. KC, Sweefelhofer gets it across to Encenia, who rolls it to Williams, gets it up to Seymour. Scala puts it away for a kill, making it 7-3. We now have Williams back up to serve. Serve. KC, Sweefelhofer, free ball by Knight. Oh, miscommunication on the free ball, Pirro and Kenny, but Williams and Seymour get it back over. Sweefelhofer, Demetrio, and then it is KC, dug up by Kenny, great kill. And swing by Pirro, just deflected out.
The Knights managed to recover, but sometimes those miscommunications really can kill you. The free balls are a little too free. All right, now we have KC going to serve. Pollock, Lima, and Simone. Simone passes it. Seymour to Scala. KC, DeVitrio, free ball. Will it stay in? No, Zweiffelhofer tries, but can't get it back into the court. Excellent effort there by the Bears. Piero will now step back up to the line. Scores 8-4 Knights, who lead 2-1 in the set. And a serve. Great serve. DeVitrio gets it up. Zweiffelhofer. Knight goes to swing, hits the block. Simone gets it up. Seymour goes over on 2. Knight. Zweiffelhofer back sets to Insignia, who hits it and deflects off of Kenny to get the point, making it 8-5. Philemon will now serve. And Wallen will come onto the court in the front row. Philemon. Float serve up by Pollock. Seymour, Simone gets a nice little roll shot. Zweiffelhofer, KC, little roll by Knight. From Simone to Seymour to Descala, who hits it over and gets it in for a kill. Excellent job by the Knights and way to find a great open spot, Descala. Boyce now comes on to serve. Robles and Pollock make up that back row. DeVitrio's back on serve. KC goes off a little bit to the side, and there's nobody there, giving the point to the Knights. Boyce steps back up. Serve. DeVitrio. Zweiffelhofer. Insignia powers it through the block, but up by Boyce. Seymour, now Simone. DeVitrio gets a great pass. Knight and over by KC and a free ball. Great pass by Pollock. Gets it over. Simone swings and finds the side out to get the point to the Knights, who lead 11-5 and a timeout from the Bears. Score is 11-5. Knights are up. That was an excellent rally and way to finish it by Simone. As much as the Knights are gaining momentum, I truly think the Bears just need this to regroup, re-energize. It's tough, facing a team with a deep bench because a lot of the people get to, take a break while their defensive specialist comes in for them. And playing all around the court wears on you, especially in a 4-set game. But as I mentioned, they're no stranger to this. They just played Maritime in a 4-set game. But the Knights seem to have an edge. Warmouth, Seymour, Simone, Pollock, and Robles, with Boyce still going to serve. Insignia, Zweiffelhofer, Wallen, Knight, KC, and DeVitrio back on for the Bears. Boyce now steps up. We are about to keep this going. All right, Boyce finds an ace in the back line. What a serve. (12-5) Knights and a serve. DeVitrio gets to the middle. Zweiffelhofer. Knight pushes it. Robles, great pass. Seymour. Simone finds a great part of the court and gets another point for the Knights. Excellent defensive, offensive job by the Knights. Just finding spots where the Bears aren't. A little bit of a communication between the player and the umpire, referee, I apologize. Ooh, goes to the 10-foot line. Overpass by KC. Simone. Seymour. Simone again, but overpass by the DeVitrio, who Seymour continues it as well. Zweiffelhofer. DeVitrio. Insignia. Blocked. Zweiffelhofer. DeVitrio. KC back row attack. Up by Pollock. Seymour gets to the middle. Warmouth. The Bears answer. Roll shot by Simone. Zweiffelhofer. Knight touches it and keeps it in. Another fun fact, each team has an appointed floor captain who is permitted to speak to the referees. It kind of, I don't want to say eliminates, but mediates that coach-referee interaction. Insignia serves. Pollock shanks it into the bleachers. The Knights come together and regroup. But back to my previous point, yeah, so like there's less communication between the referee and coach directly. Insignia. Robles, and it goes out, which I find a pretty cool thing about volleyball is you have someone who advocates for the players, and also there's that mutual respect between everybody involved. All right, we have Insignia, who goes for the short serve. Lima, Seymour, Simone, gets it through the block and onto the court. It is now 14-8 Knights with a 6-point lead against the Bears. Meltson now subs on for Insignia. Fredericks will now serve for the Knights. Serve. Vitrio. Meltson. Zwiefelhofer swings up by Simone. Warmouth tries to get it over, but it's just a tough play at the net. Liberos switch, and Knight steps up for the Bears to serve. Serve. Into the top of the table. Looks like the antenna's kind of fallen off there. The referee notices it. He's going to go fix that for them. Kenny helps out. Substitution. Piero is on for Robles. Kenny still fiddling with that antenna there. They're a little finicky, especially with all the power both teams have been displaying. It's no wonder that it falls off the net. There we go. Oh, she's on the court and she's trying to go back to the bench. Oh my gosh. Here we go, Simone. Serve. KC. Meltson. Wallen. Fredericks. Warmouth. Over by Williams, who hits it just out. Kenny and Lima now switch. We now have Devitrio going to serve. Serve. Great serve. Lima. Fredericks gets there. Piero pushes it over and finds a gap to give the point to the Knights, making it 16-10. Descala comes on for Warmouth, and the serve now goes to Lima. And the serve. And that is an ace right on the line for Lima. And that is a timeout called by the Bears. It is 17-10. The Knights lead with a score of 2-1. Really hard-fought match by both teams, but the Knights just seem to be executing at a higher level right now with all aspects of the game. The Bears still have time to respond. The Knights are back onto the court, ready to go. The Bears maximizing their timeout time left as they come back onto the court as well. Looking to get a little bit of a momentum shift here. I'm sure they would like to push a few points of their own, get on serve. Let's see if they could break up the Knights' momentum as Lima steps up to serve. Serve. Knight. Waltz it. Zwiefelhofer up by Lima. Fredericks. Simone gets a back row attack to Wallen. Meltson, I apologize. Devitrio, Zwiefelhofer, Lima, Fredericks, Williams. And Philemon is called in the net. Again, for the folks that may not know, you may not touch the net at any time. So even if you technically score the point, if any of your players were in the net at all, the point goes to the other team. You always gotta be careful. It's like the floor is lava, the net's lava. And the serve by Lima. Knight hits it into the bleachers after a tough serve from Lima. 19-10 Knights. Lima steps up again. Serve. Finds the line for another ace, making it 20-10. Great job by Lima. Oh, ball gets on the court. And it's back to the proper person. And Lima prepares to serve again. Here we go. Serve. Oh, goes for the short serve. KC. Melton. Zwiefelhofer. Simone keeps it up. Free ball by Lima. Knight. Melton. Oh, Philemon gets it over. Continued by Descala and then over by Friedrichs. Swung on by KC into the top of the tape, and the point goes to the Knights. It is 21-10, folks. Looks like the Knights might be pulling away a little bit. Let's see if they can finish it. Score 4 more points and take this game. An important Skyline win. Here we go. The serve. Knight. Melton. Wallen. Lima. Fredericks. Williams. Puts it away for the side out, making it 22-10. Great kill by Williams. It seems like the Mount are just in a flow state right now. Everything is going how they want it to. Serve by Lima. Great serve. Knight. Melton. Zwiefelhofer, finds a great swing there and just eats up a little bit at Fredericks. Zwiefelhofer now steps back to the line. Substitution. Insignia comes on, and Melton comes off. Serve. Lima. Fredericks finds Williams, who rolls it over, gets it over the block, continues. Philemon. Williams just couldn't keep it back into the center of the court, but great effort. The plays at the net are very difficult. You can't predict them. The net is a factor. The other team. Here we go. Zwiefelhofer serves. Out. It is 23-12. Seymour comes on. Libero switch. Williams goes to serve. Let's see if the Bears can answer back or if the Knights can push too here. Serve. KC. Zwiefelhofer. Insignia tips it. Williams keeps it up. Seymour. Descala finds an open spot on the court, making it 24-12. Set point, potential set point and match point for the Knights here. 24-12. Williams. Goes for the aggressive serve, but just finds the top of the tape, giving a little bit of life to the Bears. Pollock now subs on as the Knights are seeking match point here. They can't do it on serve. Let's see if they can get a kill to end it. Here we go. The serve. Lima, great pass. Seymour. Piero gets it through the block, and that is a win for your Mount St. Mary College Knights. Great match by both teams. Thank you for joining me today. I really enjoyed your time, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Thank you, Knight Nation. Signing off.